Marcella, Siobhan, Shakespears Sister, how are
Phil.
you?
Good.
Now,
How are you?
I'm really good. I'm curious to know how you're feeling at the moment because it's been 26 years since you were writing, performing together.
Yeah.
Is it a good feeling? Is it a nervous feeling?
26 years since we spoke, before we spoke. 27 years since we were last performing together.
Wow.
And 24 hours since we released our latest thing. So
Yeah.
it's all a bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah. Does it feel different releasing new material this time round? Have you got a lot more thoughts collectively that you're processing and thinking of previous experiences? Does it feel like you're doing it differently?
I think there's a fresh appreciation after, when you struggle for 20 years in the wilderness and you get this incredible wave of love and such an amazing response. Yeah. You've got some perspective on it, you know. And I think we're both feeling really grateful and blown away by everything.
Very. And we have, we're able to clear the air and now we can understand and appreciate each other.
Yeah,
more.
and it's good because I remember seeing the photograph of you both together. Was that just over a year ago, the black and white picture?
Yes,
Yeah.
It was May last year.
Yeah, and I just remember everyone just commenting. I mean, social media is a great thing in that respect, isn't it? Because it gets people talking and people were very curious about what was happening. Because, of course, Siobhan, you were playing with Banana at the time, doing the tour. And then all of a sudden, everybody's speculating that there's perhaps new material coming in. Hurrah, there is.
Well, it was the speculation began long before we had thought about doing new material, we didn't get round to actually exploring that until last October. Yeah. And we threw ourselves in at the deep end, went out to Joshua Tree, stayed in an Airbnb, just the two of us, for 4 days. And we knocked out the park, wrote All the Queen's Horses and See You Next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll come on to that because I want to ask you about that, particularly at the last track. But what an amazing place to write. I mean, so inspiring, isn't it, that place?
It really is.
And you've both been before, presumably.
Yes. I've got a friend out there, so I go all the time. It's a place. It's a really healing place and a really inspiring and kind of. It's just like, I don't know. It's like being on another planet.
Yeah. And a fabulous video directed by Sophie Miller.
I know, the best, the Grande Dame.
Yeah. And I just love the fact that you're still producing videos and music to a certain extent, obviously the visual part of that with comedy and drama, because I think that's really lacking in music at the moment.
It is.
Absolutely.
And it's good to see a band actually doing that still.
Well, Sophie did all of our previous videos, and there's always been a rich vein of humour and that mocks our embattled relationship throughout the videos, and that's very much Sophie's twisted sense of humour.
We have her to thank for that.
And also the truth of the situation, and it's always inspired her to do brilliant work. And so it was so great when I played her the demo that we'd written. I mean, she was so thrilled when we got back together because it was a big part of her creative life as well, Shakespears Sister. And so it was amazing when she wanted to make a video for the new song. And what a video.
And of course, you have been with Bananarama and you've been doing solo work. As you have, Marcella, you've been doing a lot of solo work. Does it feel quite cathartic? Is it great for you to be back in with two people again?
Yeah, it's, well, we just wanted to concentrate on having some resolution initially to our differences. And then to be able to create again, I mean, we did take that chance and came up with some great songs, and it feels really good. But, like we've been saying kind of off and on all day, we're very similar in some ways, but we are really the odd couple. We come from such different musical backgrounds and cultural backgrounds.
That's why it's such a weird animal, I think, Shakespears Sister, because you would never know, like I said in a previous interview, actually, no computer dating service would put us two together,
You got to have that push and pull, I think, in a working relationship. Yeah. Because it makes you question things, it makes you struggle a bit.
Right.
And you've got to have that struggle, I think.
Yeah, I think both of us push and both of us bring such different talents to the whole that is the two of us together. That I think we kind of stretch each other in different ways.
So that initial chat when you both got back together, I mean, it's been reported, obviously, the last couple of weeks, the press go mad because it's such a great story. Were you both quite nervous? Were you quite tearful, emotional when you first reunited?
Well, that very first meeting at the coffee shop
Yeah.
was actually, it took me by surprise how emotional it was that first hug.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, God,
Was that a genuine
tears
hug,
in my
though?
eyes.
Was there a bit of friction still, or...?
Well, no, that was what was so weird. Is like I just got a lump in my throat, and tears came to my eyes, and I think I detected a glint in Marcy's eye as well.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, we can try to analyze whatever that hug was, but it was one of genuine, wanting to resolve things. I really did not like the fact that we had this niggling, horrible, festering thing going on between us for all those years. It wasn't pleasant for me.
Bad energy.
It was bad energy.
And when you think it's nearly 30 years as well, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you've got to make up for lost time as well. Do you feel like you've got to make up for lost time?
Maybe that's why the new stuff's so great is
It's
because
great.
it's been brewing for so long.
Yeah. I mean, I say it's great. I've only heard one of the new tracks, but you mentioned, I'm so tempted to abbreviate it. I'm not going to.
No.
See you next Tuesday.
Don't do it.
Was that in your head? Is it about someone in particular, or?
Maybe it is. Yes, well, yeah, I'd
I think you could possibly be the first band to actually have that title in a song. It's
Really?
brilliant.
thank you.
I can't think of anybody else that's
Thank
done
you
it.
very much. We appreciate that.
Well, when life hands you lemons, you've got to make lemonade.
Thank
Now,
you.
no, Siobhan, I've read in the press that you are quite a shy person.
Yeah.
How does that interfere with you as a performer? Does it interfere with you as a performer? Or does it...
I'm not very good at talking in between the songs. I mean, I love to dance, I love to sing,
Yeah.
I love to perform. I kind of inhabit an aspect of myself when I do that, which you can't when you're in mufti in the street. My moon is in Leo, I rest my case.
Yeah. Does it feel like you're not a different person when you're on stage, but you're almost like putting on a mask to a certain extent, although you are showing your real person or an aspect of your real person? Does it feel like you're getting on its showbiz kind of thing?
It's the inner me that really, that's how I connect with the world at large. The inside of me is able to be expressed through performance.
Is that one of your differences, do you think, Marcella?
What?
Are you a shy person? In
I
any
am
respect?
actually
Yeah?
a shy person. But I remember going to acting class once, and my acting teacher used to bust everybody, when he saw something in them that was not really helping them with their acting, with their craft. And he said, "You're arrogant." I said, "I'm not arrogant. I'm really painfully shy." Yeah. I mean, I remember going to things with my cousins, and I would see them like on holidays and stuff, and I'd be really shy at first. But then after like 3 hours, I didn't want to go home. But I am really a shy person. I'm a dragon in Chinese astrology, and I'm Sagittarius rising. I guess the fire. But I still battle with myself, being open and vulnerable.
The crab.
Yeah, the crab. The crab just,
Yeah.
if something's wrong, the crabby just wants to go back in the shell and hide.
Because people
That's
assume-
me. I'm very sensitive. People don't realize that.
Yeah, when you're a
I'm
performer.
super empathetic, and I'm super, super sensitive.
So during your time away, when you were both writing independently, did you ever think in your head, this would make a great Shakespears Sister song? Or actually, did you think of the other person, not necessarily as a band, but just as an artist?
Like any individual songs we were working on.
Yeah, that you worked on.
Yeah, I had a few of those moments.
Solo.
Yeah, I think I probably did as well. Yeah. I can't say what, when, how, where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might turn up on the next
Who
album.
knows?
Well, there you go. It's quite
Yeah.
a loaded question, I guess, because Bananarama, of course, we saw you performing Stay. Did that torture you in some respects? that
You know
were
what? It was a
performing
really
two
great
bands?
gift to me because
Yeah.
it helped me to make my peace with that song. It really did. They were like, "We love that song. We want to perform that song as part of the set." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
It
Great.
felt really powerful. I mean, I've actually got goosebumps now because I remember being there and thinking, wow, that everyone just was almost like deadly silent. It was like so overwhelming. I think.
It made me experience anew how loved that song is, and just to feel very grateful to have been, one of its creators.
Yeah. And what a track. I mean, it stayed at number 1 for 8 weeks. Did you ever think at the time, like when you were doing Top of the Pops and stuff, did you think, I know Bryan Adams came out a few years later, early 90s, but do you ever think it was going to be one of those Bryan Adams moments where, oh my God, is that song at number 1 again? Of course, everybody loved it.
It did start to feel like that, didn't it, Marcy? Like, sorry, we're back on Top of the Pops again.
5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and 8 weeks.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah. But it shows how great that song was. That people just kept on buying it.
You know, I still to this day get emails from people saying, oh, that song really saved me or really helped me get through some difficult times. And I mean, when you write something that you're very proud of and that's really successful and that it helps people is a really humbling thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's an honor, you know. It's like the icing on the cake.
Yeah, a powerful song.
Help people.
In a lot of ways. Is that quite difficult to comprehend, the magnitude of it? Not when you're writing something, but when you hear about it.
Yeah, it's impossible to comprehend that.
Yeah.
The only way that you have any kind of inkling of that is by actually get the feedback from people for whom it's meant something.
And I wanted to ask you about Prince, because of course we lost so many legends over the last few years, David Bowie being one of them.
Yeah, what
Prince,
a few
and
years.
you supported him. That must have been an amazing experience to support him.
Yeah, I mean, every night before Shakespears Sister hit the stage, we'd have a Prince party in our dressing room. So,
That's right.
you know, he was like, I don't know, he was like the purple one, you know.
Yeah.
And then he invited us to support him at Celtic Park in Glasgow, where my dad used to take me to watch Celtic play all the time. So it's kind of like a holy ground and the Prince, you know. It was a double whammy for me.
Yeah, and there was no one like him. I mean, he was unique, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
Truly.
a genius.
Yeah, I mean,
multi-talented genius in
He
every way,
really
like
was.
lyricist, melody,
Musician.
dancer.
just brilliant, yeah. No, I was going to say that once Eric Clapton was doing an interview and somebody said, so how does it feel to be the best guitarist in the world? And he said, I don't know, ask Prince.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the fact also that you're starting your tour on Halloween.
Yeah,
That's so brilliant.
classic.
Was that deliberate? Did you choose that? Because you could have such a massive party with that.
I'm hoping that there will be. I'm hoping everyone comes in their best Halloween drag.
Please. No costume, no entry.
New music. Of course, we've got the Greatest Hits album, which is great. Singles Party.
Yeah,
2 new tracks on there.
2 tracks, this single and the follow-up single, See You Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then every other single that's been released across the 4 Shakespears Sister albums. So it's an anthology to date.
Because I think the first indication of the new material is just brilliant. And it does sound quite different, even though you can tell it's you.
Yeah.
It sounds forward-looking. Does that mean that we're going to have a new album of new material?
I mean, I would say that if we have the time to write an album,
Yeah, we're in the middle of the EP, so
Yeah.
we have to record that when we get back.
One
we're
step at a
halfway
time.
through. We've written a 5-track EP, so we're halfway through recording that right now,
Yeah.
and that'll come out just before the tour, right?
It'll be on vinyl as well.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see you on that show. And I can't wait to see everybody just enjoying the album as well.
Yay.
And the new material. It's good to see you.
And you, thanks, Phil.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for chatting.